empathy test, where a woman shares a story of a difficult or emotional experience to see, engage his reaction. Family, I have done this a number of times because I've been with men that lack empathy. I've been with men that only think about themselves and are very, very egocentric. I don't want a man that's egocentric. I don't want a man that's so stuck on him he don't see me. So I do bring up relationships, or bring up situations in my life to see how that man responds. I'm telling myself, there was a time where I was talking to somebody and there was something I was going through. Now, mind you, I could figure it out myself, but I want a man in my life for a reason. I don't want to be in a situation I feel like I'm by myself. What's the point? I might as well be by myself. If I'm by myself, I might as well be by myself. So I was talking to somebody and I was dealing with a situation where I was stuck on the side of the road. Long story short, stuck on the side of the road. And it wasn't anything I wanted this man to do for me. Nothing I wanted to do for me. I just wanted to feel like he had my back if I needed him. Because I already had the plan, but I just wanted to feel like I had somebody that really had my back. Well, this person failed. Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are you going to call your dad? You going to call your brother? So what you here for? If you asking me where my daddy at and where my brother at, where you at? But you want to park in my garage. And when I say park in my garage, it's a metaphor. You want to be here, but you don't want you want to have all the relationship benefits. But when it comes down to being there for me the way that I need you to be there for me, when I'm calling you and you want me to call you my man, you're asking me to call my daddy or call my brother to figure out how to help me out of a situation? Oh, no. Okay, well, you're not my man then. Sometimes we tell stories and the point is we tell stories and we say certain things to see, engage how a man responds. That's just the reality. And y'all, I've been in situations with men that where I've dated a guy and he was there for me. There. You don't have to come. Don't worry about it. He was going to be there. Oh my gosh. I just fell in love with that person, but just was there. And I felt like I had my back like that. And it wouldn't even, I was just seeing if he would, but because he was willing, he didn't have to, but he was willing. And then when I said no, he still was like, no, you're my person. I'm gonna make sure you good. That set me over the edge. Set me over the edge. Again, it was not because I wanted to be, I wanted somebody to do something for me. I do have great support system, which is amazing. And I thank God for the way that he has provided for me. But the reality for me was just understanding that if I'm going to bring a man into my life and I'm going to bring a man into my world, I want to be in a more submissive partner. That's not for everybody, but I want to play a more submissive role. I was looking for a man to step up if there was things that were going on in my life. I was testing his response to negative situations that was occurring in my life. And there were men that superseded my expectations. And then there were men that just didn't meet them at all, like failed, like no. And again, maybe it wasn't failure, like, they failed F, it was just like, okay, I see what this is. I see what this is. And the way I do it is like, you will never hear from me again. Thank you. Duly noted. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. No, and I hate to laugh like that, but it's just the truth. I feel like time is of the essence, family. I really do. I feel like time is of the essence. I don't, especially with the situation that occurred to me on Monday with my daughter, and my puppy. She felt like my daughter, honestly. I realized how short time is, family. I woke up that day not thinking that my puppy would not be coming home with me. It just gave me such a perspective on time. You just don't know how much time you have. And I don't feel like no one should be in the headspace of wasting time, because the time you just don't get time back. Timothy Jett asked a fair question. He said, Sam, isn't testing a man in his loyalty and love a kind of an insecurity? Men don't like tests and will want to move on from the one that does test his loyalty and love. Well, Timothy, to be honest with you, I've never had that happen. And it's not loyalty and love. It's more like, okay, if I'm dealing with a situation in life, how do you respond? This situation was not contrived. It was not made up. This situation was actually happening to me. I just chose to share it instead of just dealing with it on my own, because this was somebody that expressed interest in something further with me. And so seeing their reaction was important for me to gauge whether or not this person was meant to be a part of my journey or not. It wasn't a situation I came up with. It wasn't a joke. It was my life. And seeing their response helped me to make a decision about whether or not they played a part in my future. Okay. And so, yes, I'll do that. I will ask men questions. I will see what they say. And it's real, but it's a test. What are you saying? What's your response? How do I take that? And I'll take it and I'll run with it, because now you're telling me about you. I don't listen to what people say about you. I'm getting you from you. I'm understanding you from you. So no, I don't think I think men should be testing and seeing how women respond to certain situations. Why? Because you get to know who people are. That's testing. Doesn't mean like, oh, you're just making something up. But you might say to a woman, hey, I don't really want to go out to a fancy restaurant tonight. I'd rather do something very simple. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. We've been going to fancy restaurants all this time. Let's do something like that. That might be really how you feel, but it's also really good to see how she responds. Do we always have to do 5-star, or can we do something like a Chick-fil-A and you'd be okay with that? That's good information, right? There's times where you can say, if I don't know what the nature of the relationship is or whatever the case may be, but there may be ways that you want to test people's character, how you might want to see how they respond to certain situations and stimuli. That's not, oh, you're wrong for that. No, that's just what you should do. Dating is data collection. It's not, oh, we're locked in and I've made a decision. No, I don't know you. Until I know you, I still got to be collecting data. And the reality is we never really 100% know anybody. All right, y'all. Ooh, this is a good test. The curiosity test. The curiosity test. Great questions, y'all. Thank you tonight. The curiosity test is test number 3, curiosity test. She notices if he asks about her interests, her passions, and her goals, rather than just talking about himself. She notices if he asks questions about her interests, her passions, or goals, rather than just talking about himself. Y'all, I have gone on a multitude of calls. Like, you communicate with people, you see who they are, you hear what they say, and you're like trying to gauge whether or not you like them, or they like you. Are y'all compatible? Do y'all like the same things? All that stuff. Like, you do that, right? And there have been times where I'll get on calls with people and they're just trying to tell me about every project they've got going on, how much money they're making in that year, what they got going on, what they driving, what they're on. Like, they're trying to let me know how successful they are in the conversation. They could care less about what I got going on, care less about anything that's happening with me as a person. They just I've had moments where men will spend hours telling me about their full on resume and what they got going on and how much money they making. And it's like, dang, do you care who I am as a person? Do you care? Like, do I have goals and dreams, or you just want to tell me about you and what you got going on, and that's it. And the thing is, I will ask questions. You know, I'm going to ask questions. I want to know about the of men. But it's like when you're trying to sell a woman on you and you're just trying, you know, like telling the woman all the stuff you got going on, and you got this multi-million-dollar this and this multi-million-dollar that. And it's like, okay, well, do you care about like what I got going on? Do you care or no? You don't care. Oh, you don't care. But these same men will be the men that complain, oh, I don't know if women genuinely want me for me. You're leading with your accomplishments and your money. Why would you think that a woman is coming after you for you? You're leading with the very thing that someone could potentially use you for. Somebody said this to me recently. It's like, in order for someone to be interested, you got to be interesting. Or in order to be interesting, you got to be interested 100%. If I'm on the call with some man and I'm just saying, well, you know what? I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. And I don't ask at all what he's got going on. I don't ask at all whether or not what he's working on, what he's excited about. When I'm just talking about me, I would tell a man that's a red flag. I would 100% tell a man that's a red flag. Because if I'm on the call I know me already. I am familiar with Sam. I know who Sam is. So me telling you about me without you prompting or asking those questions, and I'm not even trying to ask questions about you, like that tells me like, okay, you're not really interested in getting to know me. You're interested in selling me on you, or what? Like, what are we doing? So to me, I think a lot of people, they'll go on these calls or they go on these things and they're so interested in tap dancing and making people see their value. But to me personally, it's like, okay, if you really want to get to know me, if you really want to understand who I am as a person, then you got to be asking me questions just like I'm asking you questions. You got to show me that you're interested in me, just like I'm showing you I'm interested in you. Like, not just trying to sell me on who you are, because that just shows me you're not sold on who you are. Like, if I feel the need to try to tell you about everything I got going on and who I am and that means I'm not sold on me. I'm trying to sell you on me because I'm not sold on me. So again, I think that's a thing that I really do look for and listen for when it comes to men is seeing if there's somebody that I think is if they're interested in really getting to understand me or know me. You know, do you really want to get to know me, or you just want me to know you and know what you got going on and be able to tell somebody else your resume? Like, I would rather you, like, let's get to know each other, like, respectfully. I want to know you, and I want to know that you want to know me too. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become Framily, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my Framily today.